morning, Soul Center.
Good morning.
Happy getting towards the end of October here. Can anybody believe that next Sunday is Halloween? Wow. So, my name is Jessica Susalik, and I'm the co-founder of Soul Center OC with my mom, Patricia Griffith, who is our angel in heaven. And on behalf of the board of directors, I would like to welcome you all here this morning. And was it hard for anyone else to get out this morning? I will say it was hard morning. Reverend Joanne, you were the only reason I'm here today. I was still here. I have to be there for Reverend Joanne. Let's start with our declaration, and let's let that energize us as we stand and say it with enthusiasm. It's in your program. There is one life,
and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now.
I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. And we've got Ron to do our announcements.
Yes, we do. Lord, allow me. Let's see, we're going to start with the safety precautions. We're still considering those things. We have the outdoor area with fresh air coming through. Masks are optional. Air hugs are what we mostly do. But those are also optional, I suppose. And on the closing prayer, hands on hearts. We have a few events and classes. Our Life Visioning class began Thursday, October 20th for 5 weeks online. You'll learn Reverend Michael's life visioning process, the 4 stages of spiritual growth, how to construct and ask empowering questions, and how to articulate the vision that's seeking expression through you, each of us. Class is led by Reverend Coco Stewart. You could go to the soulcenteroc.com website to register. Reverend Keith's Daily Affirmative Prayer streams live on Soul Center's Facebook page or Zoom every day, 9:30 a.m., except Sundays when, of course, he's here. The Zoom link may be found in our newsletter at soulcenter.com, soulcenteroc.com. A Course in Miracles with Akili Beckwith is held Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. That's Pacific time, of course. Join anytime. Details are on the website. Akili is an amazing teacher of that work, and if you haven't checked that out, I personally recommend it. He's a very cool dude. It's really wonderful to be with and to learn that work. Munch and Mingle Social. The last Sundays of each month, join us at nearby restaurants for a brunch and sharing time, community time together. It'll be at restaurants or, I guess, occasionally outdoor picnic. So please join us for that. That would be next Sunday, I believe. Let's see what else we got here. Don't miss out on the Soul Center activities by signing up on our website for the weekly newsletter. Prayer chaplains are here, Lynn and
Andrea and
Scott. Thank you, and Scott. They're wearing the blue prayer shawls and are here and online holding sacred space for all of us. If you'd like confidential prayer after the service, they'll be out here on the patio, so please take advantage of that, having these prayer chaplains here with us. If you have prayer requests, you can send them to soulcenterocprayers@gmail.com. Soul Circles, interested in making more contact with us, with the community, join a Soul Circle, a small connection group, by contacting Scott, who's back here on the camera, contact him through soulcirclesoc@gmail.com. We're currently meeting via Zoom. Some groups occasionally meet also in person. Tithing is a heartfelt thank you, or this is a heartfelt thank you for contributing to Soul Center's success through your monetary gifts. After the bills, we're saving for our permanent building, which is very exciting to imagine having our own place that we can decorate and have as we would like. And we've got lots of ideas for that.
Yes.
To tithe, please text to the number in your program. It will come up on the screen later. Or Venmo at Soul Center OC. Tithing is also available on our website.
Yep.
Got it right?
Yep.
As always, those contributions are tax deductible. There's the Amazon donation. There's a program where Amazon donates 0.5% to a charity of our choice. Through the Smile program. You can go on when you're just doing normal ordering, whatever you order, they'll take a little piece of that and put it in that account for Soul Center. You would select Universal Soul Center Newport Beach to enroll in that. I see Colleen is there waiting to come up and say something.
I am here this morning to talk to you about the wonderful feeling that I get when I volunteer here at Soul Center. My service is never gone unrecognized. I've been serving here for, I would say, the last 8 years. It was basically because Patricia used to ask. And I always did what Patricia wanted because I love Patricia from my heart and still do. And then I found out that it was a way, it kind of got me here on Sundays. I wasn't able to make that, I got this to do, I signed up to volunteer, so I better get there. Then I just began to just become so fulfilled, the feeling inside from volunteering and meeting all of you wonderful, wonderful people that were volunteering right next door to me. And lastly, I just want to say that November is the month of Thanksgiving in my mind. And if we can each give up our time and our talents and sign up for one of those little volunteer slots, there's only like 7 of them every week. And everybody's got a slot and we all just work together. And I can tell you the rewards, you will feel them. And every one of you that I'm smiling, that I know that are volunteers, I'm just so grateful to be with you all. And God bless you. Thank you.
Also, one more announcement that I forgot to put in the announcements is on Thanksgiving morning, we will have a service opportunity like we've done in the past. Probably going to do the same gobble gobble give, which we've done down in Santa Ana, so just keep your eyes and ears peeked for more information. Yes?
And just one more thing, I wanted to mention that our very own Brian is going to be performing with for a musical, Sweeney Todd at Irvine Valley College.
November 3rd, I think it's.
I've got 3rd, 4th,
Yeah, 5th and 6th.
and 5th and 6th,
And then the following week.
and then the following weekend, 9, 10, and 12. And 13? Anyway, probably best to look on the website, the Irvine Valley College website. Is there anything else you want to say about that? It sounds...
It's a very interesting show. If you don't know the story about Sweeney Todd, it's a kind of very dark show, very apropos of Halloween. We kind of hear it,
Yeah.
And, but it's good. It's made into a movie with Johnny Depp. But it's a good show. It'll be a big cast and an orchestra, a 90s orchestra.
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay.
With that, I think I covered everything. So let's join the band for our congregational song.
Jacqueline?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, I love that song. Just get you up on your feet. I love it. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lynn Shanky. Our reading is from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Just as there is a principle of divine givingness in the universe, so is there a principle of divine forgivingness. It is self-evident that if such were not the case, we should never be able to transcend previous mistakes. It is this ability to transcend previous mistakes which may be described as forgivingness from the standpoint of a spiritual system of thought. Sin belongs to no one. It is merely a mistake operating through someone. Jesus forgave people their sins in order to demonstrate that the creative principle within us is greater than any use we have ever made of it, and also to demonstrate that when we reverse our position in the law, it simultaneously reverses its position towards us. The very nature of the law of cause and effect and the reality of personal volition compel us to see that divine forgivingness is a principle in nature, and that this principle is the essence of love. That is the reason those who have sensed the love of God have also experienced divine forgivingness, and through the alchemy of thought, have transmuted the energy of despair into the energy of hope. Thus they have been reborn. We could make no greater mistake than to suppose this rebirth to have been an illusion. Let us turn within and pray. Oh. Let us turn within and get into that grateful space, remembering all that we have to be grateful for. We are so blessed for where we live, for our beautiful community of Soul Center, for all the friends we've made, all of our family, all of the camaraderie that we share here and outside of Soul Center. I know that God is all there is, that one presence, that one power, that love, that light, that joy, that energy that is moving in through and as each and every one of us. I know that I am one with this presence. I know that everyone here is one with the presence. Everyone we know, everyone we don't know, we are all one with the divine. Therefore, we are all one with each other. We are all connected through that love, that consciousness, that beauty, that laughter. We are all here on the planet at this time for a special reason. We are all sharing in this journey of life together. How blessed we are, how lucky we are to be together and experience this together. I know that this day is a perfect day. It is a blessed day. I'm blessing this day. I'm blessing this service. I'm blessing everyone that came in before we got here to set up. Blessing Reverend Joanne as she gifts us with all of her wisdom and fun and wit. It is always such a treat when she's here. I'm blessing the band, Jesse, Brian, Jacqueline, knowing that their music is a blessing to all of us. It uplifts us. The message from the Reverend, the music from the band. We are uplifted. Our vibration is soaring. Let's take that out into the world and share it with our neighbors. Knowing this is a perfect day, I'm blessing this day. I'm blessing all of us, knowing that perfect divine health and well-being is our birthright. That we are all here to share the love and the light and the joy and the laughter. And I simply let it be, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen.
Okay, now let's all rise, and we're going to do our agape affirmations. You will find them in your program, and they'll come up on the screen. I will speak a line, and then we'll repeat them aloud together with sincerity and acceptance. The fullness of life flows through me with ease and grace.
The fullness of life flows through me with ease and grace.
I am supported by a friendly universe. All of my needs are met.
I am supported by a friendly universe. All my needs are met.
All of my relationships are founded and grounded in unconditional love.
All of my relationships are founded and grounded in unconditional love.
Serenity is the truth of my beingness. I live it fully.
Serenity is the truth of my beingness. I live it fully.
I am an instrument for God to reveal benevolent abundance.
I am an instrument for God to reveal benevolent abundance.
Gratefully, I live these words of truth.
Gratefully, I live these words of truth.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
You may now be seated. Reverend Keith is out of town, and of course, he would make sure that we have nothing but the best. Our guest speaker today is the beautiful and amazing Reverend Joanne Coleman. Reverend Joanne has been a staff member at Agape International Spiritual Center for 4 decades. Director of Agape Vision Corps and an expert in Aramaic studies, she has been an integral part of our Soul Center community and family since the beginning. We are so very grateful to have her here to inspire and uplift us today, and she will be speaking right after our beloved Jacqueline Brown Manifield brings more music to our ears. He's a blessing. All right.
So this next song I'm doing is a song that was written by Ricky Vibes, and it's called How Can I Serve Today? It's a bit of a chant because there's a lot of repetition, but I also hear it as a prayer, and I think it's a beautiful sentiment. So if you begin to pick up on some of the repetitive parts, feel free to sing along. So, okay.
Where you lead me, I will find. gonna lay all my old hurts down. Spread my wings and fly free. Let me try that again. I'm gonna lay all my old hurts down. Open my wings and fly free. Open my wings and fly free. Yes. Open my wings and fly free. I'm gonna lay all my old hurts down. Open my wings and fly free. Ain't gonna carry this pain no more. You have it right back to you.
Yeah,
ain't
repeat,
gonna
yeah.
ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. No more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. No more, no more. I ain't gonna carry it. The reason I ain't gonna carry the pain no more is because I finally met up with Tibutha. Tibutha is the Aramaic word for grace. Tibutha, loving kindness. Tibutha, my talk is about coming up to and being embraced by the Tibutha such that I become a person, a woman who lives forgiven. I didn't just get forgiven, I get to live forgiven. You see, when you come upon Tibutha, if you've ever had a shot at it, please go to Niagara Falls and just stand there for a minute. If you just stand there, you will become soaking wet, just standing there. You don't have to do anything. And I don't know if you know this, but sometimes black women standing in that much moisture can have their straightened hair turned into an afro. Right before their very eyes. Your clothes are so moist, you feel like you've been a tea bag in the presence of God. And what I want you to know, that Tibutha is standing in the presence of God such that you are drenched. And you don't have to do a daggone thing about it. Tibutha, the loving presence, the forever givingness of the very presence. And as Reverend Michael says, ain't no absence. It's a presence, but it's not an absence. That's never an absence. Then you become drenched, standing in the midst of the presence of God, which is your very actual life. You just get like that. Tibutha. Try it on. Tibutha. So I got to standing here, brought the moisture with me today to stand in the Tibutha, in the forever givingness of the presence of God. You see, Tibutha, it brings on the dew of the presence, D-E-W, the dew. Let the dew of heaven fall upon my thirsty soul. Right? Soak me, drench me, make sure that there are no more dry places in my spirit, in my life. The dew of heaven standing in the Tibutha. D, it stands for deservedness, deserving. In the presence of God, you can't deserve what Niagara Falls does. Oh, that was good, huh? Yeah, it wasn't, you wake up in the morning, you hope you have it. And you hope it has you. So the dew of heaven is the D, that you can't deserve the soaking you're going to have if you stand near the presence of God from the inside out. Sometimes the moisture is such that even our men folk see the moisture slide down their cheeks in tears. The E in do, right? Earn it. You can't earn the presence of love. You can't do nothing about it. It is just so there. You can't earn it. The deserve it, you can't earn it. Ooh. When Tavis Smiley once had his television show, he invited one of the most famous folk singers to be his guest. Other folk singers who became famous later learned the style from her, and her name was Odetta. Please Google her. I just remember her coming on the screen with those shiny red fingernails. Of course, he had her sing a few songs. And oh, when the show was over, she felt relieved. She thought the red light on the camera had gone off. So he reached over and touched her on her knee, and said, when the cameras weren't looking, Odetta, I loved you, and ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. Well, she squealed. You know, she wasn't going to squeal if the red light had been on, but she thought the cameras were off, so she just went ahead, squealed, and that kind of squeal where you lean back in your chair. Right? And that's the presence of God. God loves you, and ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. It's already there. It's an already given, and it's forever, and it's eternal. There's no way to deserve it, and there's no way to earn it. And then there's the W. Hey, you can't work hard for it. I don't care what that famous song said. She worked hard for the money. Okay, so no, there's not. You can't work. There's no way to work hard for the presence of God. You could be on your knees for 14 years, and that's okay, but the presence of God was already on its knees beside you the whole daggone while. There's no way when the dew of heaven you can avoid the soaking that you're going to have from the taibutha, the loving kindness of the presence of God. But I got to tell you, church, I couldn't get forgiven. Okay, maybe it wasn't that I couldn't get forgiven, lovely Liz. Decades ago of love. Decades of love between us. I named her Lovely Liz. And I didn't know I was going to see her today after 6 years or so.
Oh, love you, Liz.
So I couldn't get forgiven. Well, okay, maybe it wasn't that I couldn't get forgiven, Dave. Okay, maybe I could get forgiven, but here's my challenge. I couldn't stay forgiven. My forgiveness would evaporate in the morning light. I would feel forgiveness, and then it would somehow go away. I don't know. There was a time in my life I just couldn't stay forgiven. I had made a mistake in my life such that I thought I was going to have to carry it for the rest of my life. Had planned on carrying the shame and the guilt of that mistake for the rest of my life. Maybe we all have things that we have done in our lives that we don't want on the 11 o'clock news. We don't even want on the 6 o'clock news. Okay, no news, no news. We've all done things that if, Maya Angelou said, child, if you knowed more, you would have done better. And as soon as you know more, you do more. You live a different life. So we all have had stuff we're not pleased about, and we can't change it, so we have to figure out how to go ahead. But see, I couldn't stay forgiven. And I don't know about you, but have you ever carried a hurt? Something you couldn't fix. You couldn't make amends. Despite it, you couldn't let it go. Oh, you went to the person. It looked like you made good amends. They felt better. Everything over there. But in your heart, you still carried it. In that book called the Bible, there is Paul. And it says Paul had a thorn in his flesh. That word is yagum. Paul had a yagum, a thorn in his flesh, which translates better as a lame horse. And the horse gets lame if something gets caught in its hoof such that it cannot walk and you can't seem to pick it out. Paul's life had him limping. He limped real good. He did good work, but the thorn in his flesh. Many scholars, have argued what was the thorn in Paul's flesh. And not only that, but Moses had a thorn in his flesh. Okay, maybe I'll tell you that the next time. What was Moses' thing? But Paul's was the fact that he had a spiritual experience of Yeshua ben Miriam, Jesus, the son of Miriam. In the Middle East, you don't often say the father like Yeshua ben Joseph. You would say it by the mother, because we all know by now that Joseph had more than one wife. So he wouldn't identify his children by him. He would identify them by which wife had that child. It's pretty good, this history lesson too, isn't it? It's rather delicious. Show enough. And so he had a thorn in his flesh. I had one too, and the thorn in my flesh was that I felt like I had committed the unforgivable sin. Now, the unforgivable sin, as described in the Bible, is not what I'm saying. Let me just tell you some of my sin. Let's do it on a Zoom online 5-week class. If you want the rest of it. How's that? I saw River Coco's all up on the Zoom. So, here's the thing. I had made this mistake such that it caused my parents to kind of drop to their knees. I don't know about you, but in my family, I was the go-to 4.0 person. I was the one who was going to live their dreams, their hopes and dreams. Sometimes parents, they don't mean to, but they put a lot on the kid. And when the kid can't live up to it or don't want to live up to it, it drops the parents to their knees, because all their hopes, a tisket, a tasket, all their dreams is in one basket. And that basket was me. And when I disappointed, and this was my big sin, I thought that I couldn't get over, that I had disappointed my parents, hurt their feelings at such a level. I didn't even know they had faces that they had. I didn't know they had those kinds of feelings. I thought, I didn't know who they were. But in the front of me, they were brokenhearted. And I never wanted my parents to be brokenhearted again. And so I had a thorn in my side, and I made vows. That I would live a life where I would never disappoint them again. I would never disappoint them again. I would deliberately live a too small life. I would live a too small life. I would live a life of almost, nearly, and not quite. I lived a life vowed for the safety of my parents to keep my stink off of them, keep my mistakes off of them, that I would make sure I never got myself in a position where they would feel disappointed in me. And then what I would do about that is I'd make sure my life was small enough that I couldn't disappoint them nor myself. Almost, nearly, and not quite. I made vows until this past Yom Kippur, where all the vows that you have made get annulled, get rescinded, get dissolved. Please Google Yom Kippur and do it next year. It's where all the vows that you have made, which aren't of God, because those are human vows I made. I didn't make those vows. Even if I had sworn on a stack of Bibles, it still wasn't going to be true, because that's a vow that's humanly made. It was a vow I made out of regret. It was a vow I was making out of shame. And it was not the vow that matched the calling on my life. And so the only vow that I have to keep is the one that is the calling on my life. That's the one you have to keep. There is a calling on your life, and that vow you must keep. You can't rescind that vow. But the vow to live too small, to live with worry, fear, and doubt, those vows you can rescind, and you've got to stop them, and I invite you to stop them today. Worry, fear, and doubt can be the thorn in your side that keeps you living just at the edge of your calling. The phone is ringing, calling you to a life, no matter what season of your life. Every season has a fresh calling. I need for you to have brought your yes. And if you didn't bring your yes, I brought some extras. You need to say yes to the larger life that is always calling you forward. The Taibutha, I stood there in the grace of God, in the love of God, in the presence of God, and I needed, would I be willing, was I going to become willing to let God pluck the thorn from my side? Because after a while, we have a good excuse and a long story about why our lives aren't going the way we know they're supposed to go. We have told the story so often, we almost think it's true. It's an excuse. It's a reason why my life is small. The reason I didn't do the thing. The reason I didn't sing the thing. The reason I didn't try the thing. The reason I didn't dream the thing. The one step I was supposed to take, I won't take that step. And I know why. I've got a perfectly good excuse. But when the thorn, so I need sometimes for that thorn to stay in my side, so I got a pleasant excuse. Nobody would ask a person like that for anything. I wouldn't ask myself for too much of anything. Am I making sense here?
Yes.
That I am talking about the grace that happens so that you live forgiven. I wasn't going to just be forgiven. I needed to get up off my knees and have my life be the evidence that forgiveness has occurred. Forgiveness, shawak, shawak. Aramaic, shawak. It means untie, unhook, unleash. It means that your house arrest bracelet, the anklet around your ankle, opens up some kind of way and falls to the ground. You're no longer under house arrest, too small life arrest. Or that collar you put on yourself so that it would electrify you every time you say yes to the presence of God. Sometimes we went out and purchased those collars and put them on, and every time we get at the edge of the fence of a limiting belief system, woo, that bracelet, that neck thing goes up, right? And we know, oh my gosh, I'm in danger of living the life I'm called to live. It's dangerous on the other side of a small life. I could get my feelings hurt. I could become visible. I could become seen. Lord, I could become known as your daughter. You could become known as a man of God. A man of God. I'm telling you, a man of God. You can become known as this. A woman of God. So, carefully, with grace, the skin, all that moisture from the Niagara Falls of loving kindness, moisten that thorn such that prayer, meditation, spiritual practice could pull the hurt out. And I became a woman who was willing to live without the hurt. Are you?
Yes.
Willing to live without the limp?
Yes.
I was once married, and this person was so not nice that after the divorce, I decided to live a lousy life so that every time he looked at me, he would see what a mess I made. So he would be guilty. Am I saying that well? It's like I made sure that he could never feel good. I would not move on. Every time he looked at me, he could feel the pangs of his naughtiness. But who's really the victim here? Who's really paying? I let go of all that. Schwunk. I am unhooked. I am unleashed. I am uncollared. The ankle bracelet of house arrest has fallen off. It just opened up. And I ain't gonna carry that pain no more. I would have to be willing to become a woman that God called me to be. You're going to be doing the life visioning course soon, right? Mm-hmm. And in the life visioning course, comes with 4 questions. One of the questions, the first question is, what does God want you to be? What is God's image and likeness for you? The second question, though, is who and what do you need to become to fulfill God's image of you? What do you need to become? How am I doing on time?
Excellent. You're
Close to 20? Okay, somebody, okay, try not to make me run over. What do you need to become? In my life, I needed to go on ahead and become forgiven. I just needed to become forgiven. I need to become deserving. Even though over there I said you can't deserve it, there was some way in my consciousness I thought the past was determining my future. And so I always had my past in my future and was always living the past. Am I saying this well? Yes. In my future, I needed to become deserving. I needed to become willing. I want you to do all of these things too. I need for you to become willing. And if you ain't willing, then you can back it up a little bit. I thought I was going to go blind once. I ran the heck into Reverend Michael's office, didn't have no apartment or nothing. I've known him since the early 70s. We grew up in the ministry together, youth ministers, and then eventually ordained ministers, a long, long friendship. And I was telling him about this blind thing that was going to happen in just a few days or something. And he got real still, which ticked me off. Nobody asked nobody for no silence. I wanted him to talk away, say something, and in that stillness I could settle down. And he said, "Are you willing to see yourself as beautiful?" Heck no. No, I'm not. Because he thought the blindness was the way in which I was seeing myself. I was becoming blind to something, remember? The thorn ain't out. You were still living a too small life, so I'm only going to almost have it, I'm going to nearly have it, and not quite have it. He said, well, would you be willing to be willing? No. The poor man must have gotten to 8 or 9 willings. Would you be willing to be willing? To be willing. Would you be willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to see your life is beautiful yourself? 11 beautiful willings later, sometimes. Because that's all I had in my heart. I carried a wounded heart. The thorn wasn't fully out, so I'm still living almost, nearly, and not quite. I hadn't been fully drenched by the Taibuth, and now I was at a moment where I was going to have to let the past go to step into a life I have never lived. I had never lived free or freely. This limping, hurt life where I drug my stuff around to make sure I never hurt my parents again. In order not to hurt my parents, I could not live because I couldn't be sure sure that little elf wouldn't get up to something again and cause another big shame attack. Would you be willing to become willing? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Would you be willing to become forgiven?
Yes.
Would you be willing to be drenched and soaked to the bone?
Yes.
Okay. Right, for the schwach, because we let go of the past, the yagun. We let go of the thorn, and we stand here, reborn, transformed. There's 3 things that must occur if you ever get near to the lived word transformation. Not the said, it's everyday transformation. I don't mean that. I meant when transformation comes upon you, your life will be forever altered. By altered, I want to spell it both ways. I want to say your life will be forever altered. Your heart will be an altar. That God picks up the mallet and rings the tone of your unity, of your healing, of your presence, of your love. It will ring so loud you will attract bees to your honey, to your open-hearted flower. When you are transformed in the way you see yourself. You cannot see yourself the way you did and say, I was transformed. Because that's one of the first things that gets transformed, my view of myself. I would have to become, what does God want you to become? The second thing that must occur if transformation is actually here and in you is that it transforms your view of other people. You couldn't stand that person the other day. You don't like the way they walk, you don't like their shoes, you don't like nothing about, there's just something, it's just irky. It just hurt. It just bugs. And when the transformation of the wet moisture of the holy presence comes upon you and gets your heart wet enough so that you're no longer dry like an autumn leaf and crunchy, but you are moist and green again, then it transforms how you see other people. And something happens inside your retinas, inside your eye, and you will finally have one of your birthrights, a merciful eye. And you will turn a merciful eye upon yourself and other people. And then there's the world, the third thing that transforms, if there's transformation, is how you see the world and what you have to say about it. In our teachings, we know that the 11 o'clock news and the newspaper is our prayer list. It comes printed for us, broadcast for us. We know exactly what we're praying for because we declare, this teaching has us declare the good before it appears. You have to say it before it appears because that's what calls it forth. In this teaching, the teachings across the street, I'm not sure about. But in this teaching, your world, how you see this very world with all the stuff going on. We don't do a spiritual bypass. We don't say it ain't happening. We say that there's something more. There's something holy in the background seeking to emerge even in this circumstance. I have to say that about the world. I need to say that about you, and I need to say that about myself. For transformation to have occurred, these 3 things must be evidenced in your life, and your mouth will say the truth of you. You need to become the wisdom, the voice of the holy presence in the face of no agreement. In the face of no agreement. I'm gonna lay all my old hurts down, open my wings and fly free. Open my wings and fly free. I'm gonna open my wings and fly free. I'm gonna lay all my old hurts down, open my wings and fly free. Ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. No more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. I ain't gonna carry this pain no more. No more, no more, no more. And so it is.
And now is the time for tithing and our giving and our offering. And the number to text to give is on the screen, and you can use Instagram as well. Thank you.
So this next song I'm doing is a song that when it kind of came to me in my heart, and to me it's kind of like the epitome of if I want to be the change I'm seeing the world, I need to change myself. And the song is, I'm retitling it Woman in the Mirror.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street, but not enough to be. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on a window, because they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I started with this woman in the mirror, and I'm asking her to change her ways. And love that says could have been any better. If you want to make the world a better place, then take a look at yourself and make that change.
souls to impact this wonderful and beautiful and loving community called Soul Center. We are all truly, truly blessed to know this place and give gracefully and thankfully. I bless this offering knowing that it is multiplied and that we are all blessed for our givingness. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Oh.
Alright, so we talked about forgiveness and how we live in such a loving and supportive world, and we picked out some of our favorite affirmations. You want to share yours? What's yours say? She liked this one. It says, I am supported by a friendly universe.
Yes.
We talked about how grateful we are for all of you and the friendliness and love we feel. And I'll show you mine. I love this one. I'm an instrument of God to reveal abundance.
In the language of Jesus, Yeshua, Joshua, Aramaic, Shalama Rabba, Huppa Rabba, Nechewun, Amhun, Hasha, Alam, Alamin, Amen. Abundant peace, abundant love, and abundant joy are yours right now, from age to age, moment to moment, epoch to epoch, now to the very now. And so it is.